Hi, Paul. You were friends with writer-director Tom McCarthy for years, but had never worked with him prior to this film. What was it that drew you to the role and to do this movie?
Part of it was knowing Tom for 20 years, and I had never worked with him in any way at all as an actor or anything. And but you know, he's a great guy, and then he started making these movies I really liked, and so that was a big part of it. Was just that this guy, I thought this. I don't think I'd never had the opportunity to work with a friend before either. So you know that seemed great. And then, you know, I thought his script was great. I thought the story was great. I liked the whole world of it. I liked the wrestling aspect of it a lot. I liked the kind of non-condescending portrait of suburban life, which, you know, it's really easy to rip it apart, but it's hard to just sort of face it square on and just do a kind of not dispassionate treatment of it, but just a kind of very straight ahead one. So I don't know. And then all the other actors, and it was just no reason not to do it.
Right. You mentioned that. What was it like portraying such an ordinary guy?
It's tricky, you know, because I was worried about being boring. You know, I didn't have the opportunity to, you know, go crazy or anything. I mean, I was very worried about being boring, and it was a different thing for me. I think it's the first time I really have played somebody who's relatively content with their lives like that. So it was tricky, and I think it worked out okay. But Tom had to really be on me to keep me from wanting to go more colorful places.
What was it like balancing the comedy with the drama?
Well, again, you know, it's like I'm kind of the straight man in a lot of it, which is I have a little bit of an easier thing in that I am kind of the straight man a lot of the time. But that's all in the script, and the tone of it was really very set. And Tom had worked with Bobby before; he was very funny in it, and so they were very good at adding the right kind of humorous tone. It's a tricky tone, but it was all there in the script, and Tom kept us on point, you know, with that. But like I say, I'm actually kind of the straight man in it. So in a lot of ways, it was like I had a bit of an easier job in that way.
So you had Alex, the star athlete, coming in who had never acted. Did you find yourself coaching him up?
No, not at all.
Really?
No, he didn't need any kind of pointers from me. I mean, and Tom was the guy who was really, he needed to have that kind of relationship with. I think, you know, the only thing I remember is sort of technical things like where your mark is on the ground. But, you know, he learned that pretty fast.
Yeah.
And that was it. I had nothing to say to the kid except nothing about acting at all to say to him. I didn't want to get in his way at all because he was doing great. He was doing amazingly. So stayed out of his way.
So were you a fan of wrestling before?
I'd done a little bit of it in high school and didn't pursue it because I really didn't like getting my ass kicked. I realized pretty fast. I was like, this is not fun. I've always thought it was interesting, you know, professional wrestling I was very into when I was young. I loved watching that stuff before it got really huge, when it was still really dingy and creepy, which not that it's not still, but I've always found it interesting. It's an interesting, weird, marginal subculture, so that's always interesting to me.
All right, well, thank you for the time.
Okay, man.